As the Creator has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love. Just I have just as I have kept God's commandments and abide in God's love, I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friend. If you do what I command you, I do not call you servants any longer, because the servant does not know what the master is doing, but I have called you friends, because I have made known to you everything that I have heard from God. You did not choose me, but I chose you, and I appointed you to go and bear fruit that will last, so that God will give you whatever you ask in my name. I am giving you these commandments so that you may love one another.
Thank you, Heaven. Please be seated. Thank you, Heaven. Camille?
As I arrive at Camp Kaz after driving on a long, windy road, I go to the arts and crafts table to write our names on a round piece of wood. My name is Camille. Camp Cazadero was a Christian sleepaway camp in rural Sonoma County. Although it had electricity and most of the time running water, it was quite neglected and rugged. I whispered prayers every time I stepped on the visibly falling apart deck. In the 1960s and 70s, my grandfather was a youth pastor there for campers, bringing my mom and uncles for weeks every year. As a progressive Christian camp, Kaz attracted many LGBTQ kids who felt safe there, even if they were not religious. In fact, I learned a great deal about varying perspectives on gender and sexuality. In addition, an unforgettable camper had a lasting influence on my style and music taste. I saw the same close-knit campers every year for 5 years. It was the only time I could see them make more inside jokes and catch up, because they had traveled from every part of California. At Kaz, I learned how to dive from an eccentric lifeguard. I found an early 1900s stove using a metal detector and gashed open almost every knuckle playing gaga ball on dirt. Most importantly, I gained empathy and emotional intelligence. As I reflect on my time at camp, I know I have gained a greater appreciation for nature and my ability to connect with people who come from all different walks of life. And as a parent, sending your kids to sleepaway camp may feel intimidating. However, if you ask anyone who has been bunking with their best friends for a week, they will tell you their overwhelmingly positive experience. And as an only child, I am grateful my parents gave me the unique opportunity to connect with my peers. In 2020, the camp closed due to funding issues, leaving me with an unimaginable grief. I ended up going to a sibling camp to Cazadero, Camp Tamarack, located east of Fresno. We do identical traditions at TAM, but in a different environment. This year is my last year going to camp and my 4th year at TAM. Tamarack memories include altitude sickness, belting Britney Spears in the shower, and beginning a relationship with my boyfriend, who I had a crush on since early Cazadero. At Tamarack, we were encouraged to ask deep questions about the Bible and other religions that normally might be considered taboo. For example, our camp director, Kim, brought a book called Awkward Moments Not Found in Your Average Children's Bible, which pointed out the hypocrisies and allowed us to think critically about the Bible. Lastly, every night we sing campfire songs underneath the stars. My favorite campfire song will always be Trucker Jesus, which goes, "It's fun to be a sinner, but you'll never be a winner. Without Jesus, you're stuck in the muck, in the muck. So take him out of your glove compartment, put him in your love compartment, stick him on the dashboard of your truck." Anyways, these camp memories will last a lifetime, and I hope kids and parents will continue to participate in these camps so everyone can experience the nature, the connection, and most importantly, the fun. Thank you.
So there's a part in the sermon that says, "No one has a greater love than this, to lie down one's life for one's friend." I feel as if I have a few friends and family I would die for. However, I took this as something I'm willing to take a big risk for, a passion that I want to pursue. For this thing is social work for me. I'm interested in a career as a social worker, which I will study next year and eventually get a job focused at the US and Mexican border, working with newly arrived families seeking asylum. My interest really began in 2019 when I met Byron, who stayed at the church for a while to settle in. For those of you who don't know, Byron and his dad were separated when they came to the U.S. by the government. The dad was sent home to Guatemala, and the 7-year-old son, Byron, was held in a detention center. Fortunately, they reunited, and my family helped them adjust their new life in California. Throughout this process, COVID-19 hit, and we ended up spending a lot of time together because he would study at our house and we'd take him on adventures to learn about everything. A friendship spark that I would never have experienced if I was not willing to help. Most recently, a mother and her 2 daughters came from Guatemala to Burlingame to start their new lives in September. I've had the opportunity to help them once again, and I cannot explain to you how amazing it's been to meet Maybelline and Kayleen. It's always an adventure full of laughter and fun. When they originally arrived, they spoke no English. However, we've taught them little by little, and day by day, they learn more. This friendship with them has become the most unexpected surprise, and I'll cherish it forever. The memories I've made with them, I will remember. I encourage everyone to step out of their comfort zone. There may be a great friendship that you'll never expect. I've been gifted with lifelong friendships that would never have happened if I didn't step out of my comfort zone. I'm so excited to explore my passions through a career in social work and help newly arrived immigrants. I'm aware that not everyone agrees on immigration, but it's an issue that will never go away, and I'm willing to take a huge step and pursue something that is so controversial, because my goal is to help someone and explore the fun along the way, because already I have been blessed with adventures and friendships. Thank you.
My name is Max Nayak. I'm 18 years old, and I've been at this church for about 14 years. Growing up, people always ask you, what do you want to be when you're older? And that answer for me has changed so much. When I was young, when I was 6 or 7, you asked me, I would have said a veterinarian. Hate blood, hate needles, can't do it. I wanted to be a sign language interpreter. Still love sign language, maybe not interpreting though. It's really hard. Expectations as you get older also grow with you. When we're young, we're expected to live as a kid and make mistakes. And now, being 18, I'm stuck at that in-between of expectations. I'm expected to act as an adult, and I'm also expected to act as a teenager. Where do those lines mix, and at what point do they cross too much? I'm expected to have responsibility, but don't teenagers act irresponsibly? I'm supposed to be responsible, and I'm supposed to know what I want to do in college at the age of 17 when I'm applying and decide what I want to do for the rest of my life. Growing up, I always knew that I wanted to work with people, that I wanted to work with kids. I still do. I just don't know how. Being a part of CCSM has allowed me to live without expectations, because when I walk into this church, there are no expectations of who I'm supposed to be. I'm loved by my community for who I am as a person and how I treat other people, not for who I'm going to be when I'm old or who I'm going to be when I'm a grown adult making a living in this world. CCSM has allowed me to explore my identity in ways that I would have never known. And just like Cam mentioned, I'd also gone to Cazadero and Tamarack, and those places have also allowed me to further my identity. I'm only 18. I have no idea who I am. You could have asked me 5 years ago who I was, and I probably would have had an answer. Probably not the right one. I'm 18 and I still don't know who I am. But CCSM has allowed me to figure out parts of myself that I would not have found otherwise. Thank you.